First, I apologize for my lateness, so I wasn't able to give you the presentation. My name is Ancillary. I'm a PhD student in Yale University, and I'm doing my PhD about vehicle electric and their contribution to the electric grid and distribution grid especially. So I'm working in the IEEE laboratory of electrical engineering and power electronics in IEEE. The title of the paper is about the feasibility of the ancillary services for vehicle-to-grid technologies. So I will explain about this technology, and then we discuss about the services that are interesting for the vehicles. So the first one, the introduction about the project, and then after that the problematic, the constraints that we faced about the electric vehicles interaction with the grid, the algorithm that we have considered for this study, the output, and especially the scenarios. And finally, we will analyze the different services to see that which one is the best service related to the electric vehicle, and the conclusion at the end. So, as you know, in today power systems, we have hierarchical systems from generation to the distribution, to transmission, distribution, and then after that the consumption. But what will happen in the future, this future is about 2020 to 2025, which is estimated to have near to 2 million electric vehicles in France. So what does it mean? It means that we will increase the loads. So this increment for 2 million electric vehicles is something similar to 3 to 4 gigawatt instant power. So it's a huge amount, and it's very important to take into account how to deal with these kind of problems. People arrive at home near to 18 to 20 p.m. They want to plug their vehicles to charge the battery, and as you know, in most of the countries, this is the time for the peak of the consumption. So it means that we increase the consumption. So this point is important. And this increment can have some impacts on the grid, like the deviation of the voltage, especially in the distribution level, the transformer overloads, which can cause the presence of the electric vehicles, the losses. So as we have more loads, we have more losses in the especially in distribution levels, and also the power quality reduction. Because as you know, the electric vehicles, because of their charger, they are electronic power electronics loads. So in this case, they can produce harmonics, and this harmonics is it can cause some problems for the quality of the power. So we have also the renewable energies, as you see, and there are lots of studies to see that how we can coordinate the renewable energies with the vehicle electric also. So but this increment can also be positive. How? The first one is charging coordination. If we are able to coordinate the charging time of the vehicles, it means that instead of charging at the peak hours, charge at the instead of charging at the peak hours, if we charge at the off-peak hours, we can fill the valley hours. In this case, it could be positive, and there is no negative effects on the grid. The second one is vehicle-to-grid technology. This technology is that it means that we can use the battery, the energy stored in the battery, to discharge the grid and to load the grid. So it means that even we can reduce the normal peak of the consumption. So in this project, I'm working for the vehicle-to-grid technology, and I'm explaining about this technology. For the plug-in hybrid electric vehicles and plug-in electric vehicles, the ability to communicate with the distribution grid or even transmission grid, to sell the demand response to the grid, is the definition of the vehicle-to-grid technology. By two means. The first one is delivering electricity to the grid, so discharging the battery to the grid, or by throttling the charging process, means that as you know, we have sometimes the imbalance between production and consumptions. So if we have less consumption, we can throttle the charging process. We can ask the vehicles to charge more rapidly, and in this case, we can make a balance between production and consumption. So the objective is to assess the ability of the electric vehicles for participation in the ancillary services. And these ancillary services are, as you know, the services which are important to support the reliable transmission of the electricity from producers to the customers, like the regulation services or peak power reduction or any others that we will explain later. So there are some constraints which is very important we should take into account about the vehicles. These constraints can be first for the vehicles is about the battery. So maybe you will ask that if you are going to discharge the battery to the grid, it means that we should use the battery more. So in this case, we can have some harmful effect on the battery, on the state of health of the battery. So if you have an electric vehicle without V2G, maybe you can use it 10 years, but you will say that 10 years I mean the battery, not the vehicle. And if you want to participate in V2G, so in this case, maybe you say that I can use my vehicle just for 5 years. So in this case, we reduce the health of the battery or the aging. One point about the battery's response time. We know that the response time of most of the batteries in the electric vehicles is near to the milliseconds. For example, for lithium is near to 20 milliseconds. I will explain after that this can be positive points for the energy storage ability of the vehicles. Here I showed the connection between the depth of discharge of the battery and the cycle life of the battery. So as you see, for three type of technology of the battery, if we discharge the battery until 80%, it means that you have just 20% charge inside the battery. You can have something near to 2,500 for the lithium ion and 3,000 cycle. So this cycle is charging and discharging at one time. If you have 3,000 times, it means it is the meaning of the cycle life, as we say here. So this value is quite, we can say that it's quite normal for the vehicles. So in this case, we will implement our use of the energy inside this category. So it means that if you use your battery just 30%, so you have another part which is unused until the 20%. So you can use the other 50% to discharge the grid. So in this case, we will not reduce the aging of the battery. And the other case is related to the concept about users, the availability of the users. So we say that this is stochastic data and we are not sure at how many vehicles we have at the arrival or at the departure time at home. But in huge value when we discuss, it comes to be by considering some uncertainties could be interesting. So the algorithm that we have developed here from the EV electric vehicles market in France, we can know about the type of the vehicles. So the EV type, we know about the battery capacity, and then from the driving distance data, which are the statistic data, we can estimate the state of charge at the arrival time of the vehicles. So when they arrive at home, you know that how much is the state of charge of the battery. By having the arrival and departure time of the vehicle based on the online traffic data, we can estimate the amount of energy that we can give back to the grid. So it comes to the V2G energy that we call it here. And this graph which is showing the arrival state of charge. So we use this algorithm to have some scenarios. So here we focus on the arrival and departure time. So as you see, the most of the vehicles arrive at 18 and their departure time is at 8 a.m. So in in this